Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're talking about a brand new ColourPop collection. This collection is all orchid themed and it's launching on Thursday, September 30th. It will be available on the ColourPop website at their usual launch time, which is 10 a.m. Pacific time, so make sure you check your time zone if you're interested in picking this up at launch time. As far as I know, codes should work on these products. The only thing I will encourage you to keep an eye on is if you get a full collection set, sometimes they won't apply codes to those products and it actually can make the price go up. So make sure you keep an eye on that at checkout. Otherwise, you can use my affiliate code. It's just Amanda in all caps, and that'll save you 10%. That is an affiliate code in the interest of full disclosure. So thank you to everybody who chooses to support the channel by using my code. I definitely really appreciate it. We have a lot to go through. I'm going to show you a tutorial. I'm going to give you close-ups. We're going to do swatches. I have tons of comparisons. So let's get started with the one Soul Body product. We do have a shimmering body powder in the shade Wild Orchid. This packaging is so pretty. I'm going to try my best not to say that 1,000 times during this review, but no promises. This Soul Shimmering Body Powder is a full-size powder, so it's the big one, bigger than the mini that just came out with the Plush Like Me collection. These are typically priced at $14, so I'm guessing that's what this will be priced at. And this is a soft lavender with a little bit of a gold reflect. I thought it was going to be too wild, but I actually really love it. You'll get to see it in action in the tutorial. This product does have the typical Soul Body scent to it. It's kind of that sun tanning oil, beachy type of scent, and it is pretty strong, just FYI. There are two pressed powder blushes in this collection. The blushes have the exact same packaging on the outside. The cartons and the front of the compacts look exactly the same, but there is a big sticker on the back that lets you know which blush is which. Also, shout out to my nail polish, which is Akaba from OOO Polish, that perfectly matches this collection. Now let's take a close-up look at these blushes. They are both completely matte. We have no shimmer, no sparkle, no glitter. One is a very pale mauve type of shade. It looks a lot different in the pan than it does on the skin. Then we have the shade Potted, which is a mid-tone kind of rosy red. I think it looks more pinky corally in the pan, and then it does look more red, at least applied to my skin. I am wearing Just My Pluck in the video, and you will get to see that also applied during the tutorial portion. Here are just a couple of little comparisons. I didn't have anything that was a perfect match in my ColourPop collection, but I thought that these would be at least a useful comparison to get a feel for these shades. For the lip colors in this collection, we have 3 new LIPPIE STIX shades. I forgot to mention, I think the blushes will be in the $8 to $9 range, and I think these LIPPIE STIX will probably be around $7 a piece. We have 3 new colors here. There are some little color coordinating pieces on the bottom where the shade name stickers are, and also on the top of the little twist out part. I'll show you a close-up of what I mean here. 2 out of the 3 are a matte finish, and then the one in the middle called Dancing Lady is a matte X. You can really tell the difference once you see the lip swatches. Heavy Petal is the shade that I'm wearing throughout the talking portions of the video, and this is a matte finish. You can tell it has a nice satiny matte. And then when we take a look at Dancing Lady, you can tell the matte X is a very, very flat matte. Still very comfortable, a little bit more long wearing, but it's a lot more velvety and doesn't have that little bit of satin sheen that the other just plain matte formulas have. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you a quick little arm swatch as well, just so you can get a feel for what these look like all next to each other. Sometimes it's hard to tell with the individual lip swatches. And I am also going to give you a little comparison swatch with some other ColourPop Lippie Sticks. I was kind of surprised because I thought these shades were a lot more basic, but I don't really have an exact dupe in my collection. Even the Cami swatch that looks really similar, on the lips, Cami looks more peachy and Heavy Petal has more of a purpley feel to it. Now moving on to eyes, before we get to the palette, we are seeing some new Color Sticks shades. It's been a while since we've seen some new Color Sticks. So we have 3 new ones in this Orchid collection. The Color Sticks are typically priced at $6 each, so I'm guessing these will also be around that mark. Now, the Color Sticks packaging, they do have the color coordinating components on the end, but instead of a sticker on the bottom, they have the shade names printed on the side here. I really prefer the sticker because the printed on labels tend to rub off. Much like their liners that twist up, I will encourage you to be gentle with these because I definitely broke one of mine doing this swatch. We have Pressed and Venus Slipper, which are metallics. Venus Slipper is more glittery. And then You Grow Girl is the only matte in this new collection. Here are some Color Sticks comparisons. They haven't released a ton of these yet, so I'm sure eventually we'll have some closer comparisons. But if you have these others in your collection, this might help you get a feel for these colors. And last but almost never least, we have a new eyeshadow palette. This is a 9-pan palette and it's called Or Kid You Not. I do enjoy a makeup pun, you know, personally. This is their plastic packaging, which means it does have a mirror inside. I really wish that they would have done this in the cardboard packaging, especially since a lot of their other flower themed palettes have been in the cardboard packaging, and I just think that would make more sense. This palette will probably be priced at $14 US. And I do want to point out there are a couple shades here that have the eye safety warning. These are likely only for pigments. These are all matte shades. I will link a video below if you have no idea what I'm talking about, all about these warnings, what they are, why, what you should do, and you can check that out for more information. We're going to take a look inside the palette now. We do have some cute little gold detailing in here with the orchids in the background. I do like that. There are 5 mattes and 4 shimmers. No mattes with glitter, no pressed glitters. So I am really happy to see that personally. Let's take a look at some swatches of this palette before we get into the comparisons. As always, I'll show you both finger and brush swatches on the inside of my arm. Finger swatches are on top and brush swatches are below. I can't even express how different the finger swatches and brush swatches are for this palette. These apply so much better with a brush. I don't understand it. I don't know why, but I am shocked. This almost never happens, but the brush swatches are so much better than the finger swatches. It's crazy. Now that you've seen the palette swatched, let's take a look at a few comparisons. I just tried to pick the ones that I thought would be the most useful and the most relevant. I'm sure there are probably other great palettes that this could be compared to, but hopefully this is a good, helpful starting point. Starting off with the New Nude palette from Huda Beauty. This one is a lot lighter and a lot more pinky toned. It just doesn't have the depth that the Or Kid You Not palette does, and it's going to be sort of the same thing for the Naked Cherry palette. Really looks similar to the previous set of swatches. I had a bunch of requests for the Melt She's in Parties and Natasha Denona retro palettes. I don't have either one of those, so unfortunately I'm not able to compare those for you. I also had a lot of requests for the other ColourPop purple palettes, this Lilac You a Lot. As you can see, it's way more blue-based purple, and it's also a lot lighter. So not much similarity outside of that third shade. Now, the It's My Pleasure palette is more similar than Lilac You a Lot. Still not the same range of depth though. That's really one of the best things that this new Orchid palette has going for it, is it really does have a lot of richness, a lot more deeper jewel tone type of colors. Now, this is the one I was really curious to see because the photos, initial photos, these two looked really similar. And it's not like they're crazy different, but Wine and Only is really, really red. And I think this new palette is more what people were hoping for from the Wine and Only palette. The You Had Me at Hello comparison really shows us how neutral You Had Me at Hello is, especially compared to Or Kid You Not, and again, just not that deep range. Most of these palettes just can't even compare with the depth that's in this new palette. Ménage à Moi is, again, a couple of similar shades here, but overall lighter, overall a little bit more neutral or kind of peachy toned brown shades in comparison. And lastly, one that I can never leave out of my comparisons ever again is the It's a Mood palette. We're hitting some of the same notes here, but overall I don't think there's a ton of overlap here. A little bit, but not a ton. This arm is so stained. Hold on, when you see it next to my regular arm, then you can really appreciate the staining. No joke. Now I want to show you some of these products in action. That way you can get a sense for how some of these things actually work applied to my face. And since I'm not doing any groundbreaking techniques or anything, I'm going to voice over my thoughts on this collection while you watch the demo and the tutorial. I'm not really doing any crazy looks or anything, so I'm sure you don't need me to explain it, but I still want you to see what these products actually look like in action. All in all, I'm very pleasantly surprised. The first photos that sort of leaked out, I thought, oh no, it's gonna be a super boring collection and it's gonna be an extra letdown because I love purple and this is not gonna do it for me and I'm gonna have to dislike a purple collection. And you know, I'm happy to report that that's not the case. This entire collection is much prettier, much richer, much more exciting and useful than I thought it was going to be. The cheek products are all fantastic. I like both blushes. I love, love, love the Soul Body Wild Orchid shade. I thought it was going to be too wild for me, and it ended up being super beautiful. I can see it working for a lot of different styles and different skin tones. So if I was going to recommend just one cheek product, it would be the Wild Orchid Shimmering Body Highlighter thing, but I'm going to use it on my face. Now, as far as the other products go, I love seeing new LIPPIE Sticks, and I really, really love the shade Heavy Petal. I do wish that there was one really purple lip color. All of the lip shades look great with the collection, but I do wish they would have just gone there and been really on the nose and did a super purple lippy. The color sticks are sort of my least favorite just because that's not really a product that I love to use personally. The shades are nice. Again, they fit well within the collection, but that's just going to be my lowest ranking pick because I'm not a huge fan of color sticks in general. The palette is one that I felt like a roller coaster ride because I love purple. Of course, I love ColourPop. And then I thought, oh no, this is going to be such a, let down. It's going to be too much the same as other things. And overall, I have to say, I do think this palette is fantastic for a few reasons. It has great depth. There's so much more richness than the previous purple palettes and a lot of the others that I compared it to. And I really see this making sense as a fall release because of those rich, deep jewel tone type of colors. I do have a couple of things I would have tweaked. Like I mentioned, I would have loved to see this in the cardboard packaging, similar to the little sunflower and poppy palettes that they've put out. And I would have liked to see just a tiny bit more variety in the super dark matte shades. I love this one, Buddies. I think this is such a pretty special purple matte shade. I do think that the other three deeper mattes are a little bit too similar, so it would have been nice to see something more decidedly really purple like that Buddies shade. But overall, I'm pleased with the range. I'm pleased with the performance. I think that I'm gonna get a few different really, really pretty and varied eye looks with a lot of rich royal purple type of vibes. I actually see myself using this palette in conjunction with a lot of the comparison palettes from the previous swatches to add some depth, because I do think that a lot of the previous palettes just didn't quite go dark and rich enough. I think this collection is beautiful, it's wearable, it's fun, it's going to work for a lot of different styles, for different skin tones, and I'm just really, really pleasantly surprised and so happy. I like it. I like everything. Recommend all of it. Now's the time when I want to hear what you think about this collection. Are you interested? Is this something that you've been waiting for or will be adding to your wish list? Do you think it's too similar to previous releases? Are you somewhere in between? I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! September 30th, Thursday the 30th. Great. Not at all a tongue twister. This highlighter is so cute. It's distracting me. Typical. Let me try that again. Is it too much? Is it too much purple? I think not. Let's do some lip swatches. Lip swatches. Everybody loves lip swatches. Dancing lady. Hooray, hooray for me. If you can't cheer yourself on, I mean, really, who can you cheer for? I mean, come on. The matching nail game is really, really on point today. This is from OOO Polish. It's called Akaba. I'll link it. I always put my nail polish in the description. But honestly, could this be more perfect? Could this be any more perfect? Voiceover with if that made any sense. Who knows? We'll find out when we're editing. By the way, for the Watch to the End crew, if you haven't seen my last video, which was the Kaleidos Lip Glaze lip swatches and review, you should watch that, and you should also be a part of the Watch to the End crew for that video, because there's a super secret giveaway. I mean, it's not really secret because I put it on YouTube, but you're picking up what I'm putting down. Okay, anyway, thank you for watching, and thanks for being here and hanging out with me, and just thanks for being so cool. And I love your face, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye!